Hey, Darcy Way here. Just chiming in to wish all of my new teachers, veteran teachers, a great school year again. Hopefully, now you are set with your procedures and your expectations. Your relationships are on their way with the students, and now you are ready for a break because I am ready for a break at this time. We are in our last week before Thanksgiving break, and I have some much needed things to get done, like some test papers to grade, some grades put in a computer. So I know exactly how you are feeling right now. So hopefully everything is working out for you and you are on your way. It's almost January. January comes and it's down here from there. But I wanted to chime in and talk to you about observations. I just had my second observation, the unannounced observation, and though it went pretty well, it didn't go as I expected. The, well, it was with science, so science is only 45 minutes for me, so it's very hard to really get in everything that you would like for your observer to see within 45 minutes. And then we do IXL to help them with foundation skills. So it's even less than 45 minutes. So everything you would like them to see when they come into your classroom, you can't always fit it in. And then in rushing to try to make sure you cover the whole lesson within that time period that they're in here, because you want them to see a complete lesson, the beginning, middle, and end. So it's like if they don't see that, you feel incomplete. The lesson is incomplete. You feel incomplete. It's like you go to church and you leave before the benediction. So I like for them to see the entire lesson, and I know they want to see it too. But I got through the lesson, but I rushed a little, so I'm a little um, disappointed by that, and it didn't show as much, at least not that I can tell, when we did my post-op. The post-op is always with our principal and assistant principal. The assistant principal mainly did the observation, but the principal was in attendance as well. So she chimed in whenever, but it was mostly on the assistant principal. I know other schools may call them something else, but we have our administration team is the assistant principal, and we include the secretary as well. But so we did our post-op, or we did my post-op, and we went over everything. They always start by asking me a series of questions, which I absolutely hate because I'm actually in the meeting to get feedback, to receive feedback. So when I have to answer questions, it's like, okay, here we go. Is this going to be a discussion, a true question and answer, or will it be an interrogation session? Because sometimes it feels that way. But it wasn't an interrogation session, so um, we had the meeting, and I answered the questions they asked. They always ask, "How did I feel the lesson went?" Which I always feel like the lesson went fairly well. I've been teaching for over 10 years, so um, it can't really go too bad. So and then I've been teaching the same content. So I teach science and math. They decided to observe me in science. So and that's the subject that I'm certified in. I'm not certified in math, but I do teach fifth grade math, and I've taught it for, it's been over 5 years I've taught it. So I'm pretty good at it. Not bragging on myself, but um, we did the post-op, and they asked the questions. I answered to the best of my knowledge. Sometimes you just don't know what to say, but I took my time, slowed down, give it some thought time, and then I gave my response. And then they always give you their answer to the question as well. So we went over that, and he gave me some suggestions on some things I can bring into the classroom. They always give you the positive, which I had a lot of them. Again, not bragging, but I'm just stating some things that you will see in the post-op after an observation. And like I said, this was the unannounced one. The announced one, of course, always goes better than the unannounced, because you know that they are coming when it's an announced observation, but when it's unannounced, you don't know. But since I'm a teacher, I basically do what I need to do, my job, every day. Even if it's close to a holiday like today, it's close to Thanksgiving break, but I'm still teaching. I'm still trying to stay on pacing. We have a pacing chart to follow. So to stay on that, you have to keep teaching. You can't afford to have too much downtime. And the students that I teach, they don't need too much downtime. So they came in. I was ready. So the students were ready, and they observed and observed the lesson. So he gave me some input on it. He said that he would like to see more strategies. And I did use, with science, we do a lot of notice and wonder charts. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but the students state what they notice about. It's usually a picture that you put up an image, and give them some thought time. They tell or write down what they notice about the picture, and then they tell what they wonder about it. The wonder is always a question. They ask, if it's a tree in the forest, they may ask, how old is the tree? I wonder how old the tree is, or something like that. But that's what it is. He wasn't familiar with the strategy, but it was a strategy. And he mentioned that he would like, he loves strategies. He would like to see more of the think, write, pair, share. That's one of the strategies we're implementing this school year. Now, I've used that over the years. It was just think, pair, share. But now it's think, write, pair, share. And I've even heard think, jot, pair, share. So it's the same thing. The students is asked a question. Give them maybe a minute or two to think about it. As they're thinking, they're writing down their thoughts. And then when the time is up, they turn in pair with another student, and they kind of compare their answers. And they may want to add what their partner has. They may want to change some things that they have on the paper, or he or she has. And from there, we go into the share part, where we share a whole group. The whole process can take anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes. I wouldn't say run it longer than that, but that's usually how I do it. Because I love my timer. I use my timer as much as I could, because I'm a type of person that I like to kind of stay on target. On target with me is pacing, and not just a pacing chart for the year, but pacing with the schedule that we use, the daily schedule. So I want to make sure my kids get in and get started and get out on time, so the next teacher can start on time. So I'm a stickler for that. I just think it's considerate of your coworker and the students. They have to have time to get in and get their things out and get started. But yeah, going back to the post-op, so he gave me some pointers, and it was basically from what he used when he taught. So he suggested the strategies to use it more, because I use it, and I use it in science and math, the think, write, pair, share. So he wanted to see it used more. And we didn't do a hands-on project during the observation, but he would like to come in to see one of those as well. And yes, we do hands-on activities in science. I know students love them, and I actually love to see them do it. But it's a little upsetting when they do the hands-on activity, and then when it's time to discuss, or when it's time to answer discussion questions, they can't respond, or they're not responding correctly. What they're saying is not connected to what they did in the hands-on activity. It's just that it's hard for them to apply information. Basic information they can recall, but when it comes to them applying what they have did in that hands-on activity, it's very challenging for my students. So that's a little discouraging when it comes to hands-on activity. They just really need the foundation before they can move into applying it, and that's what a lot of them don't have. They missed out on it in elementary school, because for us, fifth grade is at the middle school. So elementary school, we call it the primary school, they miss out, but they miss those foundation skills. It's hard for them, of course, when they come to the middle school. So we have to help them with that in order to help them move forward. So it's like we have to go backwards in order to move them forward. So the post-op went okay, the observation went okay, but I didn't receive all of the scores that I wanted to receive. So that was a little frustrating, but anyway, what I really wanted you to get out of this is go, whenever you do an observation, whether it be announced or unannounced, always listen to what they suggest, look at where you fell short, continue improving your strong points or your reinforced part of the observation, and the part where you are the refinement section of the observation are the parts where you need to work on more in order to get a better score the next time around. So we continue working on the reinforcement, the strong points, but also add in some of the suggestions that they made. A lot of us, we get frustrated. We're already doing a lot of work, but I try to keep what I'm doing and try to add in some of what they suggest, and that usually helps with the next time around. So always reflect. That's one of the key things to take away from this video. As a teacher, we must reflect, and in the reflection, there are some things that you're going to keep, throw out, put in, or add on. Okay, and that's what I have for you today, and that's the Darcy way. Until next time.